All right. Let's try number 21. Number 21, GCF that thing first. Otherwise, if you're doing slide and divide method, it's going to be wrong as you do this. Like the process will not be equivalent. And just look at this. Don't write this down. Just look at this. You'd be trying to multiply to 320 and add to negative 42. And that's messy. Either way, you have to do a GCF, especially for slide and dividing. Those who are doing pre-calc, you want to take a GCF out so you're guessing and checking with smaller numbers. So biggest number that goes into everything, this 42 wrecks it. Oh, we can't even do 4 there. I was hoping 8 would work. So I guess we're dividing out a 2. So this is equivalent to, make sure you actually write your GCF down and make sure it's in your final answer. Don't forget about that. We get 4v squared minus 21v plus 20. So now we're trying to multiply to 80 and add to negative 21. So really, both numbers need to be negative because negative times a negative is positive. And when you add those two negatives together, they add up to negative 21. So we're really looking for a pair of numbers that add to 21, but then we make them negative each, respectively. So that'd be 5 and 16. 5 times 16 is 80, and it adds to 21, but again, make them both negative. So it actually multiplies, well, it still multiplies to positive 80, but it adds to negative 21. So write your GCF down, shove those behind the variables, and realize it's completely wrong. We need to take this cursed 4 and slide it down and divide. The second factor just becomes v minus 4. The first factor, that 4 slides out in front, 4v minus 5. Don't forget about the 2. And if you just focus on this part, if you multiply the 2 green factors together, you get this. Then, that's not actually equivalent to this. This is what we were trying to factor. Well, when you think about, oh yeah, I got this multiplier of 2, when I double the trinomial that I have up top in green, when you double everything, distribute the 2 through, you do get that original problem. Alrighty, number 25. What can you factor out here? Almost a 6, but 6 doesn't go into 9, so it's going to be a 3. So this is equivalent to 4m squared plus 8m plus 3. Notice this is your a value, and it's more than 1, so that stinks. We're doing the AC slide and divide method, or you're guessing and checking. Challenge you to guess and check it, like for factoring. In other words, here, folks, this is actually kind of easy to guess and check because it has to be a 1 and a 3 back there, both positive. And now you're figuring out, is it going to be 4m times m or 2m times 2m? So it's actually more work with the m's, figuring out the numbers there. Usually it's more work figuring out these numbers. But that's how you guess and check. You just kind of stare, plug in, check. It's wrong, erase, try something different, erase, try something different. You eventually get it with practice. It becomes a really slick method. So you don't have to do the diamond and the sliding and dividing. Alrighty, but let's slide and divide here. It's a method that works for all. So multiplying to 12, 4 times 3 is 12. Multiplying to 12, adding to 8, 6 and 2. Bring down your GCF. So it's going to be m plus 6 times m plus 2. That's not right. This cursed 4. Slide and divide it down. Cursed 4. Now, folks, you have to simplify this fraction. Another flaw with slide and divide, it's not just always, you can't get lulled to sleep to always slotting that bottom number in front. you have to reduce it first. Otherwise, you'd have a 4m and a 4m, and that makes 16m squared. We don't have, it's not supposed to be 16m squared. We're supposed to be sliding 2's in front. So we get GCF of 3, 2m plus 3 times 2m plus 1. Again, we already knew we were going to have a 1 and a 3 back here. But what we didn't know, you guess in checkers, is it going to be 4m times 1m or 2m times 2m? It's going to be 2m times 2m, and we know that because when we smiley face check that, we get 6m and 2m, which makes your 8m right here. Then when you distribute the 3 and you get your 24m from the original. If you did a 4m and a 1m, you would get not the right answer. You'd get 4m and 3m, which makes 7m, not 8m.